All right, I'm Jason Hall, and this is my speech too. Here's one note card. Here's the second one. And here's my third. And we have one audience member, 2, 3, 4. We got a visual aid too. 5, 6. Where's number 7? Oh, it's kind of bright. 7, and then where's 8? And 8. We've all had that experience before, that overwhelming nervousness in our stomach, feeling just anxious, and you won't know how you'll perform until it's already been done. I'm talking about public speaking. Everybody in this room has had some experience with public speaking, whether it's delivering a presentation on a podium or having a job interview conducted for you. Either way, they're scary. I've definitely been there before. In high school, I was in a speaking competition for the club FBLA that I was in. In middle school, I was a news anchor for my broadcast that was presented throughout the entire school. And I've also had many job interviews where I've had to conduct myself in an appropriate manner. I've had success in all of these categories because of one thing, and that's confidence. However, you don't have to feel confident to look confident. There are actually 3 things that I'm going to talk about today that'll make you look a lot more confident than you really are, even though you might just be having an overwhelming amount of self-doubt within you. The first is by having good body language. The second is by projecting a positive self-image onto yourself. And the third is understanding the audience. Let's start with body language. According to the article, How to Improve Confidence, there are many different ways that body language can make you look confident. It's a very important aspect of confidence. The first way that body language can help is by demonstrating good posture. Your stance can be a representation of your posture. Are you standing stiff, relaxed? How do you look? Typically, a relaxed stance gives off the feeling of confidence. Here's an example of good posture. Here's an example of bad posture. Which one looked more confident? Thanks for that. Another way that you can use body language to show off confidence is by utilizing gestures. What are you doing with your hands? Are you using your hands to express each individual point that you have, or are you using your hands to play with your note card and fidget and itch yourself and whatever? Another good way to use gestures to project confidence is by clapping. If I was going to give you a point that needed emphasis, just a simple clap can really emphasize the point that I'm trying to deliver to you. Let's move on to the second aspect of confidence, which is having a positive self-image. The number one mistake with self-confidence and having a good self-image is dwelling on past mistakes with prior speeches. Do not dwell on the things that you did incorrect. Do not dwell on the negative aspects of your past experiences. Think only in the present and the future. According to the article, How to Be Confident for Life, self-image and mindset are very important aspects. Mindset is basically summarized by the really common, well-known quote, "Whether you think you can or cannot, you are probably right." This is basically saying that self-assurance is the key to success when it comes to projecting a positive self-image onto yourself. If I go into this speech and I tell myself, oh man, I'm probably going to do horrible, I'm probably right. If I go into this speech and say, oh, I'm going to ace this and knock it right out of the park, I'm probably going to be right. The last aspect of self-confidence is understanding your audience. This can be done many different ways. The first is, and most popular, is by conducting an audience analysis. This can be done by filling out a questionnaire, having a background check on your audience, or just simply asking other people around, just asking around to other people about the audience or person that you're delivering the speech to. After you've conducted your audience analysis, it's very important to apply the traits from the analysis into your audience. Let's say you're giving a speech to a bunch of children. You will look a lot more confident if you utilize the factors of children that they enjoy, like humor and your tone of voice. If you're giving a speech or a presentation to a corporate office, typically a stern, intelligent, witty approach goes a lot further with them. All right, let's recap. You do not have to be confident to look confident. All you need to do is make sure that you project yourself with a good body image, have a positive self-image going into the speech you're about to deliver, and understand who you're giving the speech to. So, hopefully, next time you have to deliver a speech or presentation to somebody, you don't have to go, what am I going to do with my hands? Because now you know that confidence can sometimes be an illusion that you cast on your audience, even though you're secretly stressing about it. So this time I will be conducting a Q&A if any of you have any questions based off speech. Anyone? Let's see what we got. Do you have anything? What do you got?
So what would you suggest as far as the hands to keep the movement to a minimum, or would you suggest just move every now and again? What would be your suggestion on that?
That is an excellent question. My suggestion on hand movement is find a good medium. If I'm talking and I am spazzing out, I might be unappealing to look at or even listen to, maybe even distracting by overusing hand movements. Keep it to a bare minimum. Use your hands to emphasize specific points. If I'm listing a 1, 2, 3 statement, it might help to 1, 2, and 3 with your hands to add emphasis and to add visual attention grabbing. But if your hands are behind your back and there's no existing hand movements, you become static and dull and just not overall enjoyable to listen to. So, what about you? You look like you have a question.
I do have a question.
Oh, you do? And what question is that?
Well, most of us are getting nervous giving speeches in front of people. How do you slow yourself down and calm down enough to get through your speech?
That's a good question. What I found that calms me down the most when I'm delivering a speech is stop, collect yourself, take a deep breath. A 5-second pause isn't going to throw off your entire speech. If I'm going to go ahead and tell you about speaking and how to get it done, see, I just did it right there. It looks natural and it allows me to collect my thoughts without but. That's exactly how you would use pausing to slow down your overall voice tempo and to collect your thoughts a little better. Oh, you have a question.
What should you do if you make a mistake?
If you make a mistake in a speech, it's best to just either backtrack or just roll off of it. Don't let the mistake define your entire speech. If I was to stutter my words right now, I would politely say, oh, excuse me, guys. What I meant to say was, maybe you reiterate what you were trying to say, or just roll off of the mistake and don't let that mistake hinder the next point that you're about to deliver. In performances, acting, stage plays, when somebody falls, they don't just lay there for the rest of the show. They get up and they keep on walking. Do the same with your words. Any other questions? No? All right. Well, that concludes the Q&A. Thank you guys for listening.